What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Indeficient. Today, I bring to you not one, but two Super Smelter designs. Let's get into it. Okay, so before we actually have a look at these guys in action, let's talk a little bit about the three considerations here. So number one, how fast can we smelt something in a furnace, which is 10 seconds? How fast can we pick up items, which is 10 items per second with a hopper minecart? And then how fast can we return those items to the player? With hopper speed, that's 2.5 items per second. So in 10 seconds, we can pick up 100 items, and we can, if we have our furnaces in lines of 25, we can move all 25 back to the player within 10 seconds. So with those numbers in mind, I've come up with two designs. First one here on my right is a 2x hopper speed smelter. So this one's going to be picking up 50 items. So it's a little bit easier to build. It's a little bit more compact. It's 2x hopper speed's already pretty good, all things considered. And then just to speed things up a little bit more, I've got one over here with 4x hopper speed. And coming in the future, I'm going to have an 8x hopper speed one. I was going to do it with this video, honestly, because it's really as simple as basically just doubling up what you see here behind me. The redstone can be adapted to work with 2 minecarts, no problem. That being said, it's a little too fast for basically any fuel source to come or to keep up with. It becomes just a massive pain to deal with fueling the furnaces. So I feel like these are the better options for the everyday player. And then if you're the kind of player that wants 8x hopper speed, well, the input system I have here is really not the greatest. Like, you're going to want shulker box unloaders and then shulker box loaders at the end as well. So it's something I'm going to work on for a future tutorial, but for today we're going to start off with what you see here behind me. Alright, so let's have a closer look. We'll start off here with our 2x hopper speed one. This will be the input chest for all your items. This will be the output chest for everything that comes back smelted. And then this is the little area here that you can get in to access the minecart. Down below, quick look at the redstone. We've got just a hopper clock and a dispenser. It's really not a whole lot involved with this. Having a look over here at the 4x hopper speed, the chests are almost in the same spots. You still get in here to access the fuel. I just moved the output chest from here over to here just to accommodate the 4x hopper speed needed to keep up on the output side of things. Down at the redstone, it's a little bit more complicated because we also need to lock both sides, not just one side. I'll get more into that as we build. So we'll kind of start by building the common parts together, and then I'll have chapters down below that you can skip ahead if you're going to build the 4x hopper speed or the 2x hopper speed. As for the materials we're going to need, I've got a couple of chests set up, and I'll have the world download here as it is, right as you see it right now. I'm going to put this world download in the description down below. So I've got all the materials here for the 2x hopper speed. So you can pause now and have a look at everything you're going to need for the 2x speed version. And then for the 4x hopper speed, you just need a little bit more. Let's do a quick test, shall we? So we'll start off here. I'll throw 3 stacks into each, and then we can sort of check it out in action. So you can see here we've got our system that will release the minecarts based on a timer. So every 5 seconds on that side, every 10 seconds on this side, and then it'll head off. This one will release the next minecart right away. This one will wait 5 seconds in between. And then you can see that one's dispensed. This one's on its way. So if we head back around, you should be able to see the items already coming in at 2x hopper speed. And over on the other side, you should start seeing those coming in roughly 4x hopper speed as well. There we go. Last thing that's worth mentioning is that we do want to consider chunk alignment. I haven't actually tested to know for sure if that's going to cause any problems, but it's always safe to chunk align. So I'm just going to show you here how I've got my setup chunk aligned as it is. Basically, I'm just making sure that the input system here is as close as possible all into one chunk. Okay. For that, I use Foxy No Tails markers pack, and there's other ways you can find the chunk borders. Perfect. Let's mark out a spot. Start building. Right, so as for space, we're going to need 37 long, we're going to need 14 tall, 8 of which is going to be below the floor, and the remainder above. And then if you're going to build the 4 times hopper speed variant, it's going to be 3 blocks wider on the left-hand side, basically. Right, so to start off, we're going to mark out our center spot, so that's going to be exactly as you see it here. So I've got the center spot, and then I've got, you know, that's right in the middle of the 11 wide, and then I've tacked on the extra 3 on the left hand side only. So this will be the common start no matter which way you're going to build it. From here, we're going to want to count back by 16 blocks, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and we're going to stick a piece of glass in right here. We're going to build that piece of glass upwards, and then just like so. From there, we're going to go up by 1 more, and back by 4. Next up, we'll put in a piece of obsidian right here. So this is towards the front. And then we'll have our first piston in right here. The next piston is going to sit like so. And then finally, one more piston in just right there. Okay, so we're going to put in some obsidian here now, and then our torches, which will go, we're going to need a couple more pieces down here as well. So let's grab like so, a torch here and a torch here. So this is a modified version of the max speed dropper clock from Eggfur, and I've just modified it to sort of squeeze into the area here, and I found Eggfur's version was giving me some weird results, and it was actually stopping itself even when it had items in here. So I've just adjusted things a little bit, and let's finish that off here. Perfect. So just like so, that'll now be the max speed dropper clock. Same exact concept as Eggfur's. I basically just replaced the observer with redstone, and that's being run around and triggered right here. There you go. Okay, so let's keep building from here. We'll get out our ice. Come back by 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to come towards the left-hand side when we're, I guess, standing at the front looking towards the back. We're going to go this way, and we'll go 2 more. So 6 blocks in total. And we can, of course, case that in with some glass. So now for our 2 times hopper speed, we're going to put in a piece of soul sand here, or for the 4 times, we'll switch it up and run some other glass. So at this point, we'll just stop at this point and come back once we're done the common spots. So from here, let's build our lines of furnaces out. So that's going to start off right here, and then we're going to come out by 25, so, well, 24 more. So it's 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And just like that, you should have 25, so 2 rows feeding into each side of your dropper here. We'll get out our furnaces next. Put those right on top. Now technically you could probably squeeze these directly together and save a little bit more space, but I like to be able to see if they're lighting up. That way you can look out the window and be able to see if maybe you run out of fuel, for instance, and just have that visual indicator to restock that. Okay, next up we'll run our hoppers into the back, and these will take care of the fuel side of things. There we go. Next, we'll put the hoppers in the top for the items. And that takes care of the hoppers. Let's connect everything on this side next. So let's grab some full blocks, And redstone blocks. And what we'll do is come out by one here and here. Redstone block in the middle. And then around the bottom. Like so. And that's how we'll run our minecart tracks around. Next up, let's run some rails. Alright, so we'll start at the top of our dispenser here, and we'll work our way down and all the way across. And then we'll grab some redstone blocks to power the rails here. So those are going to go, what are they? The fourth one in, and then, where is that? Right about here. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should power them all. We'll come across to the other side and do the same thing. Okay. For our 2 times hopper speed, we're going to be putting in a powered rail here. For the 4 times hopper speed, it'll be a normal rail. Just going to put that in now. And let's break this guy here. So the next thing we're going to want is our chest on top. So that's going to sit right here. And we can grab our fence gate next and put that right in front of the chest, like so. Alright, so now from here we're going to build out our redstone. So we're going to build a little bit of an X shape here. Like so. We're going to have a comparator here. Dust on this side. And then we're going to put in another block right here with dust there. We'll have a torch on this side over here. From here, we'll work our way back a little bit more for the hopper clock. So that's going to be starting with a repeater here on 1 tick. If you're building the 4 times hopper speed, we're going to put a second repeater in right next to it, and they're both going to be on 3 ticks. I'll come back and remind you guys of that in the later part here in just a bit. For the 2 times hopper speed, we want it on 1 tick and just the 1 repeater. We'll put in our redstone block, some temporary blocks here, build on out, and we'll get our hopper clock in place. From this point, we're going to come out by 1 extra block, and that's just going to let us connect that over to our torch here. Grab some hoppers. Comparator here. What am I doing? Like that. Okay, we'll do hopper clock like so. Let's get this guy out of the way now. There we go. So that is the timing circuit that is going to release the minecarts. From here, we'll put in 13 items. So 13 items go into this hopper here, and that'll give us a 5-second clock, which is only going to fire every other time. So technically a 10-second clock, but it'll only leave this guy here for 5 seconds. Next up, we're going to put torch, and then we'll come back like so. Okay, so from the center, we're offsetting towards the right-hand side. We'll run some dust around here, and then come down with our dust here. Okay, from here we'll come up, and just because it's easier to get the right spacing. There we go. Like so. So we'll have our dust running along here, down, and all the way across. So that's going to release the minecarts for us. Okay, next up we'll look at the fuel side of things. So we're going to put in one more glass block right here, and then we're going to start making our way down from right here. And that is going to be where we connect into our minecart system here for the fuel. So we'll put in, a redstone block there. Grab out our rails. We'll run these over like so. Okay. Last step for the fuel, for the basic version at least, is just to grab a lever. And that way if you want to manually send out the fuel with no items running through the system just by itself, you'll have that option as well. Quick note, I designed this to keep up with slabs, so you don't have to use slabs. You can use something else, of course. Bamboo will not work. This does not travel back and forth fast enough to be able to use bamboo. It won't keep up for any long-term smelting, but it will keep up as long as you use slabs for either version, the 2x hopper speed or the 4x hopper speed. Okay, so the last common point for us here is going to be our cactus. So we're going to do, actually need one block here. So just after the turn, we're going to have it one block away from the dispenser here, in line with the return row here. So the cactus is going to go in, and we're just going to stick a block on top to stop that from growing. For the 4x hopper speed, you're actually going to come out this way. And then for the 2x hopper speed, we're going to come around the front, like so. Okay, so that's about the end of our common section here. So from this point forward, if you're going to build the 4x hopper speed, take a look down in the description and skip ahead accordingly. And otherwise, let's keep on going here. So what we're going to do is just put one more block on this side and run our line of rails right down and into it. We're going to put just a little house around that to make sure our minecart actually stays in that block space and gets picked up by the hoppers so that it can be recycled. Okay. From that point, we can put in our floor. So we'll come out by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's going to go, the same 11 wide we talked about earlier. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. So now we've got, I guess that's only 9 wide, isn't it? Yeah, but that makes sense, because then the walls. I can count. Now that we got our floor in place, let's come out by 1 here. Make sure, quick note, don't place any blocks in this little block space down here, because that'll cause problems. So we're going to come up here, place in one more row of blocks, and this is going to be where our output chest is. So we can actually put that in place now. Let's put that in here just so it looks nice. And then we'll put in our chest like so. For that, we're just gonna run the little 2x hopper speed setup into there, and we can finish off our item collection here. We're gonna need soul sand, glass, and some water, and a button. Let's get all that ready. Soul sand in here. Put in our button, our water, and then we're going to want to cap this off, of course. So put in our cap here now, and work our way up. Ooh. There we go. From that point, you can continue building up your walls, except for, of course, not on top of here. So that's up to you how you want to build that. I'm going to put in windows here, and then build up the walls on this side. Okay. So we'll grab our bucket of water or ice or whatever you're going to use to get this filled up with water for the bubble column. Don't click on the hopper because that'll waterlog it. And there you go. So that'll allow you to output at the same speed you're smelting, which is 2x hopper speed. Next, let's put in the rest of our windows here. We'll leave this spot open because we want to be able to get access to our minecart. So if we put that in here, may as well put our minecart in place now as well. So come around, stick that guy in there. So from our input, we've got our fuel chest or fuel minecart here. We've got our input for the actual items that we're going to smelt, and we've got our output. Okay, I'm just going to cap all of this off, and I think we are all set. Our timer's in place, our output is in place. The last thing you might want to do is maybe just throw in some walls around the sides, build a house. I think this setup really fits itself well to being, a nice little house built at the base of a mountain or the base of a hill. And then, of course, you can just bury this inside the hill or inside the mountain. So it works quite well for that. And if that's all you were here for in terms of just looking to build the 2x hopper speed variant, that's basically all there is to it. Obviously, still some more decorating and walls and however you want to handle that, but that's all she wrote. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Alright, so let's make our first change here, or I should say change back here for our 4x hopper speed. Because we're going to bring our minecarts back down and around and into it. Same general location, but not quite, obviously. So that's going to be our exit point, and I think the next thing we'll do is put in this exact same smelter. Just put in one more of them right here. Alright, so let's get in the next one here. So for the next one, obviously we're going to have the exact same setup, so we're going to want to come over and leave enough space for 1, 2, and then our our dropper. So it'll be 1, 2, and our dropper will be on this level, but down here. So get rid of those temporary blocks, and then we can start with our hoppers. I'll get this in, and then I'll bring you guys back in just a couple minutes here. Alright, and with those in place, we'll just connect everything up into the final spot here. So you'll notice the one thing I did is just change out these ones, so now that we're swirling around. Ooh, careful. So from here, we want to bounce it back. Oop. So we'll just finish that guy off like so. This one we'll bring all the way back to here. Grab a redstone block. Come here. And put that in here. Oop. And finish off our rail lines. Alright, and then for this side here, we'll have to connect this guy up now. So what we can do is sort of the same idea. And then we can just grab one of these for right here. Okay, so that will take care of our minecart track. Now, the one thing we do need to make a change to is this one right here. So, technically speaking, this is like half a second longer than it needs to be in order for slabs to be able to keep up with this setup. So in order to keep using slabs, I mean, if you're going to use any other fuel type, just leave this exactly as it is. But if you do want to use slabs, we're going to make a quick change to this circuit right here. You know what? On second thought, let's make the changes to the redstone here first. Okay, so a couple things need to change. We're going to have to bring this redstone down and over a little bit more. So this is going to extend down this way. Let's rerun that. And there we go. So now that's hooked back up. Let's you know what, I'm just going to put in a temporary torch over here to hold that. So we're going to remove this block here. I guess I should have left it. And we're going to have repeater and the dust down here now. Reason for that is we need another repeater going this way. Grab block over here. And swooping around to the other side. Extend that over. And that simply just needs to bring the redstone to the side as well. That way, whenever the power comes back on here, it'll stop this hopper clock on either side, because it doesn't really matter which side it stops on, it just needs to stop. Next, we need our next repeater, and these are going to be on 3 ticks. Go ahead and put your mine carts in place whenever. And then we're going to need to adjust the amount of items in here as well. So let's put in another 13 for 26 in total. Okay, that's it for the main changes. Let's get rid of that now. And we can make our way back over to this section here. So we're going to remove those couple of blocks, and then we're going to add a couple of more. Temporary block there, and then a temporary block down here, and another sticky piston. Come down here. This is going to be a 3-tick repeater, block, and a torch. Work like that. And then down here, have 4-tick repeaters back to back. And then I guess it really doesn't matter too much how the redstone gets down here. We do need to avoid that though. There we go. Now our redstone will come down, loop into here, and activate this system. Oh, sorry. Last step. Don't forget the torch down here. Which definitely just broke that. But I'll show you in just a sec that this will work for us. In this place right here, we need to replace that with obsidian. And then we can put our rails back in place. So now whenever the system kicks on, which I can just simulate, that will kick up after giving enough time for this guy to head out. And then this just makes sure it bounces back and forth, which won't happen unless it is powered. So put in a powered rail there, and we're all set. Put our redstone back in place, and there we are. From a redstone perspective, I think we are all set. Let's go ahead and put a floor in place. So for that, let's come out from here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll come 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side for a total of 9 wide. And then fill her in. All right, now that we got our floor in place, let's come put a line of blocks in here. Be sure, do not put any blocks down in this space down here, because you'll break the redstone. So just up a block here. And we'll bring that all the way around. I'm going to put in some supports and windows here. I mean, this is mainly aesthetic, so it's kind of up to you how you want to handle this part. That one's going to be where we get into view. Our minecart for the fuel. Grab that, put it in place. Grab our minecart as well. Put that guy in place. Oh, last step. We need an observer here. So what we're going to do is take an observer that is watching the rail and powering this dust. Okay. Now we're all set on the redstone. Beautiful. Last step. Let's get our item collection in place. All right, so first step for that is going to be to duplicate our clock system that we have here. So go ahead and get that in place. If you guys want to see me build it again one more time, we'll just, I think we'll start from the bottom actually. Let's come down here. Where are we? Our starting block. Grab some dust. And pistons. Okay. And solid blocks. 2 more. And last step here, comparator, dust, and then I'm just going to put some glass on top of here to make sure it's bomb-proof. Alright, so now for the ice side of things, we're going to kind of do some wonky stuff here just to make the output chest look pretty in the spot that I have. So we're going to come out and around, as you see here. By a couple more, and our soul sand. Alright, from here we can start getting our glass in to hold everything in place. We're going to get our buttons. One button goes in right here. And if I remember correctly, that should get our water all the way around. Perfect. And then one bucket's going to go in here. But before we do that, let's get our glass and our button. And there we go. So get our water in here. Finish capping this area off. Beauty. Now we're capped. Let's get Bubble Vader in place. Okay, from this point, we're going to have some hoppers that are going to get in our way. So let's just put our chest system in place here. I'm going to bring out a couple of temporary blocks. And our chests are going to be sitting right there. Okay, let's get hoppers. And just like so. Now you can put a minecart on top, and technically that would be better. It would technically distribute better between these two, but I don't know, I'm just kind of being lazy here. So if you want to be a little bit more specific about actually getting a 4 times output, then you do want to put a hopper minecart in there. This will technically keep up. It just will backlog this one first before it fills up this one, and honestly, that's fine. So let's come all the way up like so, and across. Won't cap that off just yet. Let's fill it up with water first. Oh. Well, hopefully that doesn't break any redstone. All good. Alright. Beautiful. Let's get some stairs, because I think it looks good. Stairs. Just use the same block here. There we go. Build up some walls around it. And that's your output system all set. Oh, not all set. Now it's all set. There we go. Alright, so I got some fuel in place, and I've got some items here. Let's give her one final test for the day. Well, it looks like I've done something wrong here. Hold on, let's go investigate together. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of you saw me do that as I was building, didn't you? Oh, I'm smart. Let's finish the actual clock here, shall we? There we go. Now she's finished. Alright, everybody, that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. See you.